Hey everybody, so it is day 3 now, and it's about 9:15 p.m. and I just got out of the bath. I just wanted to kind of give you an update. So when I woke up this morning, I felt about the same as when I went to bed last night. If you remember me saying in day 2, that I kind of felt a slump around 11 or 12 where I just really felt down and tired and achy. That kind of resolved itself at some point before I went to bed last night, but then it came back today. Today it was like 4 or 5 o'clock. Actually, let me back up. So I woke up and I felt about the same as I did when I went to bed, and my temperature was 98.6, which is great. Interesting. Okay, so anyway, let me keep it in order. So, I got up and I did some work, and I did some emails, and I cleaned the kitchen, and I made my son breakfast and like normal stuff, and I took my supplements, and I have this little app that they have you check in with called VivifyHealth is who actually tracks you, and there's a nurse there, and you actually, I don't know if you can see that, hopefully that focuses, because I can't see what it's seeing. So it's an app that I guess the state of Texas is using it. I'm not sure if the whole U.S. is using it, and you have to check in with your temperature a couple times a day, and you have like a chat box with a nurse if you have any questions. Anyway, so I have to take my temperature several times throughout the day. And the interesting thing is that on Sunday, which was day 1, my temperature only got to 99.1. And then yesterday, day 2, it got up to 99.3. And then today, it got up to 99.5. But when I woke up this morning, it was 98.6. So it's kind of fluctuating, but at the same time, like the top temperature seems to kind of be creeping. And when it was 99.5, I could tell, and I was like sweaty and hot. And so again, it's just the pain. There's still some chest pain kind of right here. And it gets really intense if I take a deep breath. I am coughing a little bit, but not like I have a cough. I'm just coughing, so maybe I'm just hyper aware to it. Speaking of hyper aware, when I watched yesterday's video, I could not believe how many times I touched my face. So today the goal is to not touch my face. I felt pretty okay up until about 4 o'clock today, and then I just went and I had to go get in bed and take a nap, and I was really achy. Like my joints hurt, my back hurt, the whole back of my pelvis hurt, my chest hurt, everything hurt. And so I made dinner for Caleb when he got home, and I went and soaked in the tub in some magnesium salt, bath for about half an hour, and that has helped a lot. But I am definitely getting ready to go to bed. Something else that was kind of abnormal today was I woke up around 6 o'clock, 6:30, which is pretty regular, but then I went right back to sleep and was sleeping very deeply until about 11 a.m. And that's not like me. And I slept fine all night. So definitely sleeping more, and it's 9:15 and I'm ready to knock out. So before I go to bed, I want to just kind of show y'all some things that I'm taking. So I have not taken any Advil. I've not taken any Tylenol for the aches or pains. I want to be aware of kind of what's going on and what's changing. And when you take Tylenol or Advil, that can keep you from, kind of sensing what's going on with your body. So it's not unbearable, and soaking in a tub really helps a lot. So I'm choosing not to take that, and my fever's not high anyway, so I don't need it. But I just wanted to show y'all some things, and some of these things I've been taking for a long time. In fact, I'll start with those. So I take this. Hopefully you can see that. It's Liposomal Vitamin C. It's 3,000 milligrams per serving. I take that every morning. I make a cocktail of that with elderberry syrup And I do about the same amount of elderberry syrup and liposomal vitamin C. And so I have a little shot glass, and I put a serving of the vitamin C and a serving of elderberry syrup. And I'm sorry, it's not as much elderberry syrup. It was probably half the elderberry syrup as the vitamin C. And then I add about a half a teaspoon of this powder mixture. And this is a powder tea. It is ashwaganda and Triphila. And those three things together I take every day, whether I'm sick or not. You can Google ashwaganda and Triphila. It's an Ayruvedic herb that is for a lot of things that I struggle with, and it really, really helps, especially with my digestion. And then I also usually have to take melatonin. This is 10 milligram melatonin. Hopefully you can see that. And that has actually been shown in studies to help with COVID. Again, Google it. The things that I have added are vitamin D3. I'm taking 10,000 milligrams per day. I just started that yesterday. My sweet friend Laura, who brought me the food and stuff yesterday, brought this to me. And there are some studies showing that vitamin D deficiency is a predictor of the mortality rate for COVID. So I don't know if I have a vitamin D deficiency or not, but I'm going to go ahead and take some just in case. And then I also added zinc. Let's see, hopefully that's focusing. So that's 30 milligrams. I'm actually taking 2 of those. Oh, and I missed this. So I put about 6 drops of this in my morning cocktail. It's oil of oregano, and oregano has some really well-known antiviral and antibacterial properties, so that's part of my daily morning routine, whether I'm sick or not. And then another thing that I've added is a powder tea, and I don't know how to pronounce that, but you can read it there. And it's also called Artemisia. And if you Google Artemisia and COVID, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of clinical trials going on right now, because there's a lot of doctors in China specifically who swear by this for COVID. I'll let you see the back of the package. And I got this from my friend Tiffany, who does all of my acupuncture. She's also working on her master's in Chinese medicine, and this is kind of the gold standard in Chinese medicine for malaria and now for COVID. And so I started that tonight, and you actually, so this is 1 day's worth of packets, and it's all the same thing. So you dump all of these. Each of them says, oh, sorry, it's not. Oh, it's not all the same thing. Ha! I've just been dumping all the I just dumped all the packets tonight. So it's actually several things. So it's it's a lot of things. I'll have to come back to that. I'm hoping to have Tiffany do a video with me, and she can explain this. But you dump I've only done this once, obviously. So you dump all of these packets into hot water, and you drink it. And this is supposed to be a really good recipe for COVID. But that first one that I told you, Artemisia, is the one that is the primary one that's being studied for COVID. The other things that she added were for other possibilities of why I could be sick, because we don't know if I have COVID or not. So she's kind of treating me all across the board, kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So whatever is going on, this should help. So I'm also drinking lots of water. Oh, and fire cider. I forgot to bring that. So you can Google fire cider. It's an easy thing to make. It has a ton of garlic, ginger, apple cider vinegar. Just Google rosemary Gladstar apple cider vinegar. And that's also something I've actually started really being faithful about that in February when we started hearing about COVID, and it helps your immune system. So that's everything I'm doing. I'm about to go to bed tonight, and hopefully I get the test results tomorrow. The emergency room nurse said that it would be 48 to 72 hours, but the nurse on the app said that it could be 3 to 5 days. So Sunday was day 1. So today would have been the 48-hour mark. So maybe I'll get the results tomorrow. We'll see. And I will check back in tomorrow and let y'all know.